Most people hear Tucson, Arizona, and they think desert, heat, done. I've worked and lived in this city for 20 years, and I'm here to tell you this has been one of the best kept secrets in the entire Southwest. Today, I'm taking you on a full tour. The outdoor scene, the food, everything a local knows that the internet doesn't tell you. Let's go. First stop, the Loop. It's an 131-mile path that runs along the city alongside the riverbed. Cyclists, joggers, families, dogs. This is where Tucson comes alive in the morning. And what most people don't realize is that this isn't just a trail. It connects neighborhoods, parks, communities all the way across town. If you're someone who values an active lifestyle, this right here is a massive quality of life win. You don't have to drive to get outdoors. It's literally in your backyard depending on where you live. Next on the list is Sabino Canyon. This is a full desert canyon with massive saguaros and creek beds. And it sits right at the edge of the city. Free to visit and close by, you can come out here for a casual morning walk and be back home by lunch. But if you're into serious hiking or backpacking, this place goes deep too. Hutch's Pool, Seven Falls, trails that will genuinely challenge you. It's the kind of spot that meets you wherever you're at. Okay, this next one genuinely blows people's minds when they first experience it. And it's one of my favorite things to show anyone visiting Tucson for the first time. So we are heading up to Mount Lemmon. And here's what's wild about this. So we are starting at the desert at about 2,400 feet. By the time we reach the top, we will be at nearly 9,200 feet in elevation, and it will look like nothing from when we started. Every few minutes, the landscape completely changes. Desert gives way to oak trees give way to pines. The temperature drops about 30 degrees from the city. In the summer, when it's 105 degrees downtown, it's a cool 75 up here. You get the desert and you get this. That's not something most cities can offer. In the winter, this mountain actually gets snow. There's even a small ski area called Ski Valley. And in the fall, my personal favorite, the changing of colors up here is genuinely stunning. If you're relocating to Tucson and you're worried about leaving green spaces behind, come up here first, then decide. All right, food. Most people have no idea. Tucson is a UNESCO designated city of gastronomy. That's a real thing. One of only a handful of cities in the entire United States to hold that title. The food culture here runs deep. We're talking centuries of culinary tradition rooted in indigenous Mexican and Sonoran heritage. So let me show you a few spots that I personally love. First up, Pastry. This place is a Tucson institution, and the moment you walk in, you'll understand why. The pastries here are genuinely next level, and the brunch menu is the kind of thing you find yourself thinking about on a Monday morning. Creative, beautifully presented, and packed on weekends for a reason. For tacos, and yes, you cannot do Tucson without tacos. We are at Aqui El Nene. This is exactly what Tucson Sonoran food culture is all about. You gotta prepare your fixings on it. Can't have a plain taco. Always the hot salsa, and then you dig in. It can't close. Wash it down with some soda. Excellent. All right, last stop before we wrap, La Encantada. I like bringing people here because it surprises them. Open air plaza, Tuscan style architecture, the Catalina sitting right behind it as your backdrop. It's generally one of the most beautiful settings in the city. Great restaurants, unique shops, the kind of place where you sit down for lunch and suddenly 2 hours have passed and you don't care. There's something about this place that just slows you down in the best way. This is Tucson at its most livable. And once you've spent an afternoon here, the city starts to feel like home. So here's what I want you to take away from today. Tucson isn't a compromise. It's not a city you moved to because you couldn't afford somewhere else. It's a city that you moved to because you did your research. You get 350 days of sunshine a year. You get world-class outdoor access to hiking, cycling, rock climbing, literally minutes from your front door. You get a food culture that has UNESCO recognition. You get the University of Arizona college town energy that keeps this city young and creative. And you get a cost of living that makes sense, especially compared to Phoenix, California, or the Pacific Northwest. If you're thinking about making a move to Tucson, I'd love to help you find your perfect home here. My number is 520-223-5401. And if this video helped you to see Tucson differently, share it with someone who's been thinking about making the move. I'll see you on the next one.